Hi, my name is Tom Davis, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about physical fitness, specifically the benefits of physical fitness, and also what happens if we neglect our bodies. I've got an audience with me today, my wife, I've got my father-in-law, I've got my mother-in-law, and a couple of kids, and an adorable camera woman behind the camera. Shake your head. It's Mackenzie that's our camera person today. Physical fitness is something everyone should work at. Unfortunately, most of us in life file that in the back of the categories that are important to us. We have other goals and we put those in front of us because it's just easier to do. 63% of Americans are overweight or obese. In 2009, I was one of the obese. I kept saying to myself that I wanted to lose weight, but I just don't know how. I don't have enough time. I had more going on in my life than ever before. Had 3 kids in full-time activities: basketball, t-ball, soccer, flag football, various different sports going on. I had church activities, had social gatherings. I was on 5 different boards in the community that was either elected or appointed. I worked full-time, also was working toward my college degree. So needless to say, I had plenty of excuses. And then one day I had a young lady walk to me while I was watching TV. Had my 6-year-old come in and asked me to go play soccer with her. And I made an excuse because I had a TV show going on, and told her, not today, we'll do that later. Of course, it was another excuse. And I thought, that's just how I was. That's what I wanted. She walked out of the room crying. And when she walked out crying, I decided right then and there that I'm not going to be that parent ever again. So there was several different diets that I chose. Earlier in my life, I'd been on the Atkins diet, been on soup diets, fat burning pills I'd taken, diet for lives, many other diets. They worked until you stopped using the diet, and then when the diet stops, the weight comes back because you're not teaching yourself anything. I wanted to know what made skinny people skinny, so I started educating myself. What's it take to become fit? Well, it takes effort, it takes willpower, it takes losing the excuses, it takes, like the Nike slogan goes, just do it. It takes 20 minutes a day. You're lazy if you can't find those 20 minutes a day to make a difference. If you're addicted to TV, you can do your exercises during the commercials. You can do your exercises before the morning showers. You can do them on your lunch breaks at work. You can do them after work. Then and there, my excuses ended. I started making some small changes, and those small changes turned into a big difference. For breakfast, I used to eat cinnamon rolls, a big Texan cinnamon roll, and I educated myself and decided, let's read the labels on that cinnamon roll. The back label of that shows that's 430 calories per bun. So I substituted that with an apple. An apple, average calorie on an apple is 100 calories. So I was very, very obese. I knew I needed to make those changes. I actually got a picture pulled up on my computer of how I was. So instead of eating that cinnamon roll, I started eating that apple. And that was my breakfast choices. So now let's talk about why we get fat and what will help us lose weight and make the lifestyle changes we need to lose. 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. The average body or average person takes 2,500 calories in, and if you have less than 2,500 calories going in your body a day, you will lose weight. If you have more than that coming in, you will gain weight. So those the changes with the cinnamon rolls, and cinnamon rolls instead of eating the apple, and then instead of drinking Coke, drinking water, turns into a calorie deficit of about 500 calories. That 500 calories each day that you lose for a deficit equates to 500 a day, 7 days a week, turns into 1 pound. You'll lose 1 pound if you make those simple changes each week. There's 52 weeks in a year, so you will make those little changes. Then combined with your exercise choices that you make, I started getting on this treadmill over here, and I got on there, took off running, and I made it 45 seconds, and I was dead tired. I couldn't run anymore, but I continued to exercise and I walked. I finished a mile out every day until I could run that mile. And then after I could run a mile, there was 2 miles into that routine, and I got to where I could run 2 miles, and I just increased daily, very daily. You remember the obese person down here in the picture, when that was all done, and I exercised starting with 45 seconds a day, I ended up running 26.2 miles, a full, complete marathon. So if you decide to get physically fit and you take care of your family in this fitness, you'll buy yourself that extra time in life. If you remain obese and you remain overweight, if you stay obese, you will lose an average of 10 years off your life. If you are overweight, you'll lose an average of 3 years off your life. So you need to either stop making your excuses and get up, or just be willing to sacrifice that family time that you have. Now, if you're not willing to do that for your family, let's talk about doing it for yourself. You will have an increased risk of heart disease. You'll have an increased risk of diabetes. Your lungs will suffer. You'll actually have the same comparable rate. If you're obese, you'll have the same comparable rate as the life expectancy of a smoker. You're in the same category, and you'll lose your life just as soon as a smoker will because of your obesity. You ever seen a couple that made it to their 50-year anniversary that was thin? Very rarely. You see men, you see women make it to that age, but couples, it's really few and far between unless they're both thin, they're fit, and they're physically fit. So what I challenge you to do is start making that calorie deficit. Get off the diets, make a lifestyle change. If you're an excuse-filled person like I was, you can lose that. You can lose your excuses, and you can start exercising, and you can lose your weight, and you can go from what I went through, morbidly obese, to down to physically fit. So I'm going to challenge you, if you want to be happy, you want to take care of your family, do it for your family. If not for your family, do it for yourself if you're a selfish person. But whatever you have, make those desires and make that commitment to them. Thank you.